Oh, there we go. Hey.
There we are. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. And welcome back to
the Radical Wasteland, guys. Greg the Ghoul here, as always, with Harris, my human companion. Welcome back to the Mojave Wasteland. We are here today with some breaking news from Bethesda. Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers for over identification of code from Fallout Shelter. Oh no, this story is like 6 years old. But this came across my desk last night, and I just had to laugh at it because, it's the most Bethesda thing ever for them to be able to identify their code, their proprietary code, based on bugs. That just that is as it says here, it's the most perfectly Bethesda thing ever to happen, because as we all know, games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout are perfectly balanced, perfectly coded, and perfectly stable video game experiences with no problems, glitches, or other situations whatsoever. So, just had to bring up this little gem here because it made me, as a coder, it made me laugh out loud. And by coder, I mean guy who codes HTML5s. So, but yeah, I had a good giggle over this. The idea of yep, that's our code, because we know just where it's all wrong. It's such a perfect fingerprint.
Does Warner's have any money nowadays? Not.
I think it's all tied up. I think it's all tied up in escrow right now. I mean, they're building a new filming facility now where their studios, additional sound stages and stuff, where the ranch used to be in Burbank. Wow. So that we actually just Jen and I drove by there the other day, and we were just commenting about how it was devastating when they closed the ranch, because that was such a signature spot. It had such history and significance in the media industry for just what was shot there and for how long and everything else. So when they got rid of it, it was a real moment of mourning because so many people had such history and memories attached to it. But now new sound stages are going up. And I drove by there the other day. There's new offices going there. So, yeah, they got a lot of money tied up in that. And, and they're paying Zaslav $250, whatever the hell they're paying him. Yeah, some stupid amount of money.
He's not doing a bad job. But why do you need that much of a pay raise?
No, he is, though. This could be a debate topic. I think he sucks. I think he sucks, and I think he's fucking it all up. But I think he is the logical conclusion from the culture of fear of accountability and fear of responsibility that I encountered in my times working with Warner Brothers. And I think that the HBO Max, HBO Go, Max debacle is a perfect illustration of fire ready aim, which is a big thing that they deal with. And I don't know. I don't think he's doing a good job. I could go all day ranting about it, but then it's just going to get into union politics, and it's going to get into, like real industry insider stuff. I'm sure Jay and I could have a really, really great rant about it on the Tachyon Pulse.
That'd be a good one.
So, yeah, that would be a fun one if we started ranting about the studio system. But I want to work in this town again at one point. So. But you know what? I do have to. Before we dive into the Wasteland, I do have to give Warner Brothers their flowers because I saw Superman just the other night, and I know that it's a divisive film, but I thought it was outstanding. I think it was authentic and true to the roots of the character. I think that the homages they put in there with the comic to the entire comic history. Look, the Snyderverse has its place. I'm not a fan, but I understand the people that like it. I think that this is the Snyderverse was the Dark Knight version of Superman, and this was a lot more of the Adam West style of Superman. Like to pull a metaphor here real quick. Oh my God, the landscapers are out front. Let me close my door here real fast because it's really, really loud. 1 second.
Well, while we're pondering Superman, I definitely didn't end up catching the newest superhero movie twice yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And I've now seen Superman and Fantastic Four both twice.
Oh my God! So you've already seen Fantastic Four? Don't say anything. I'm not going to have time to see it until probably Monday. But did you enjoy it?
It was better the second time, and I loved
Okay.
walking out the first time.
All
I've
right.
not walked out of. I was excited for Deadpool Wolverine. I can't
Mhm.
stand Deadpool Wolverine because it takes the two really good Deadpool movies we have, and it just makes it a slop and a schlap instead of actually trying to care for the story at hand. Which sucks. You know, I'm like, hey, you can still Reynolds and team have proven that you can make a funny, silly, zany, fun movie and still have it really good. Deadpool Wolverine
Yeah.
was not a really good film. It's a lot of fun, but it's not really good. Thunderbolts brought a little hope back. Fantastic Four has solidified my hope.
I thought Thunderbolts was really solid. I was aghast at what they did with Taskmaster, though. I'm sorry. Hashtag justice for Taskmaster. What the actual hell? You know?
Well,
I was bummed about that.
I think that leaves room for an actual Taskmaster down the road.
Except, no, what's wrong? Okay, but they were taking a character that had been done poorly in Black Widow, and were actually like redeeming that character and giving them some substance and actually fleshing them out. And then the idea that they just went back and reshot and CGI'd them out as a performer. That's horrifying to know that my performance could be so disposable.
I don't think that was the case, though. I don't think Taskmaster's in the rest of that film.
They reshot most of it and they CGI'd her out.
Well, yeah, but Olga, what I don't remember her last name or whatever, but I don't think she's ever said she's much more of that film. I think she was always meant.
No, she didn't do the press tour because she didn't find out until the last minute. They basically wrote her out and reshot a whole bunch of shit and CGI'd her out. That's the whole reason why she didn't. She basically was like, "Cool, you're wiping your hands, me. I'm out of this." You know, that's why she didn't support it at all.
Well, that sucks. But
no, it's actually talked about quite extensively. So
okay,
yeah.
Character-wise, though, Taskmaster was not.
But this was the whole thing: was that she was supposed to be paired up as the foil to the comedic foil with Ghost, and it was supposed to almost be like a little bit of a buddy comedy between them. They had a whole subplot where Ghost is actually teaching her how to be like more of a person, you know, and she's not getting the references and things like that because her brain's been overwritten so many times, and it was supposed to be like the comic relief.
Yeah, I think there's enough of that already. I just don't like the sound of it. I feel for the actress, especially after hearing that, for the movie that we got and the movie and knowing the character that was already at hand and the way that Marvel would try to utilize it.
Then they were trying to fix it and they killed it. That's the frustrating thing. And the idea that this actor went through the entire process of having to make this film just to find out that they get, headshotted in a re-edit and, written out in the first 30 seconds and they get one line in the whole thing. That's like horrifying to me. That just as a performer, that's horrifying. But they did her dirty. I'd love to see
that version of it. Same thing. I'd love to see Dune 2 with Tim Blake Nelson in there too, and a couple other people that were cut out. But I hate it. It happens. I hate it, but it happens.
Yeah. Oh, and I understand, and it's also incredibly frustrating because these days, you want to talk about fire ready aim. They're going in and they're starting these blockbuster movies these days before there's even a script locked. I mean that, and you wonder why there's so many misfires. It's like just failing to prepare is preparing to fail. That is
where I think, and Superman might fit in that category a little bit more so than Fantastic Four. I don't think either 100% fit in that category. I think the best thing Fantastic Four has going for it is you could never have seen a Marvel movie, and this could be your first Marvel movie you go in and see, and it's fine. It doesn't spoil anything. It doesn't take away from anything else. And I think the thing that it has going for it even more than that, this could be your first comic book movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think it would still be, that was kind of fun. That was a little more interesting than I thought it'd be. But yeah, that was good, especially after Thunderbolts was good. That does suck for her, but I trust Jake Schreier, the director in that sense. And then if Feige's comments recently have anything to do with that about switching and changing up the whole MCU after Doomsday and Secret Wars anyway, they were going to recast her in a year and a half anyway, and there wouldn't have been much time to use her in that year and a half. At least she got out with a literal bang.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I would have taken. I would have stuck around for that sweet Doomsday and Secret Wars paycheck if I could,
She wouldn't have been a character they would have used for that though. It would have been too ancillary. It wouldn't have been the actress back on set for that. It would have been a stunt performer in her costume doing stuff in the back for her. It's almost better she gets.
I hear you. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I hear what you're putting out there, and I think that is very much a possibility. Sure. So, but we are straying far and wide from our topic today, and we are on a little bit of a time crunch.
Yeah,
because I have to be in Venice at noon today, because we are putting up a slate of shows at the Electric Lodge in Venice this weekend, and it's getting crazy. We have to go, and I have to spend 12 hours teching 5 different shows today, so they're all ready to go for tomorrow and Sunday. But we did want to talk about something that is what? Go on.
I was thinking we might switch the order a little bit and maybe Bakersfield it out for the final little bit here. And since we talked about Bethesda talking about bugs and such here, maybe we
let's just jump into the remasters. Yeah,
how can they label their games or find their games elsewhere? And what's the best way to give other companies your code other than to toss your bugs at them? And have them go a little insect hunting for you. Because if they are going to continue doing the remasters, and we are going to go ahead and get some Fallout remasters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is confirmed now, or are they just talking about it as a hypothetical? I haven't.
Say that again, sorry?
I haven't seen this. Are they talking about it as confirmed, or is this another hypothetical?
It's a hypothetical. I guess it's not the longest article. We can kind of read through the first little bit real quick. I can skim through it real fast. Oblivion Remastered was a dream come true for many players and breathed new life into a game that is considered outdated by some. They gained new players who experienced Oblivion for the first time with all the triumphs and drawbacks that came with the original. Since their success, many fans have turned to other older games that could use the remastered treatment, like we've been talking about. One of the most prominent requests for remasters is obviously Fallout New Vegas, widely considered the best game in the Fallout franchise. There are a lot of reasons to consider the remaster, and such an endeavor would likely be lucrative and bring the magic back for many players, so on and so forth. Y'all get the gist there. This is where the trepidation comes in. A New Vegas remake would hit all the right notes. Fallout's more popular than ever thanks to the Fallout series and Prime, which has reached wider audiences than the video games haven't been able to capture, or that they have been able to capture. Despite Fallout 4's mixed reception, the setting and potential of the Fallout universe has drawn many people to it. Thanks to the success of the Fallout series, the long wait between games, and the success of Oblivion Remastered, many players have become vocal about a Fallout New Vegas remaster. While Bethesda didn't develop it, its name is synonymous with Fallout, and many of the fans of the Elder Scrolls are looking for the next Bethesda remaster. Morrowind's also a contender, fingers crossed, of course, but likely needs a remake to be truly viable because, it's an older game. Fallout New Vegas would obviously be the more obvious choice. With Fallout 76 being the last game in the franchise to be released in 2018 and Fallout 5 likely a very long way off, New Vegas would be a good little thing to just bide our time, Fallout New Vegas remake would have an asterisk attached. Here we are. Unfortunately, these are the thoughts here. While Oblivion Remastered did fix many of the glitches and bugs that were rampant in the original, it also left many of them untouched. Some of the glitches are game-breaking, while others, like the Bruma statue bug, can be very silly or frustrating, or fun. Much of Oblivion's charm, comes from its systems not working as intended. So leaving these parts untouched in the remaster was a good move, but other glitches that break the game or make certain quest lines unplayable are incredibly frustrating. A Fallout New Vegas remaster would likely give the same experience despite its fantastic reputation. New Vegas has its share of glitches and game-breaking bugs that would likely carry over to a remaster would likely be removed in a full remake. Including the crashes, characters, and NPCs getting stuck in the game not recognizing DLC. One of the more egregious bugs includes a save corruption issue where an autosave can cause an entire save file to be corrupted. The old adage of saving often and in different slots helps to avoid this issue, but too many save files can cause crashes as well. Some bugs in Fallout New Vegas can be fixed with commands on PC, but this doesn't help console players. Many of those bugs would likely be carried through in a remaster. Some Oblivion remaster players have been vocal about the bugs that are still around, and the remaster even introduced some new ones. Patches have been released to address them, but Oblivion remaster players feel that fixes are too little, too late, and a trap. And Fallout New Vegas may essentially be laying a similar trap. Okay, long-winded way of, I guess, coming into the simple point of how we started. We like Bethesda bugs, but if they're remastering, obviously they'll fix what they can, but they can only fix so much, especially if they're trying to port it to a console. PC can you have the ability to play with it a little bit more. Console is where they make their good cash. But the bugs are also rampant. Is that something that I think is going, or would you think that is going to put a hamper on their ability to remaster things at a decent rate?
Well, okay. I look at it like this. If the bugs that exist are already frustrating, I do see some of the logic to not addressing some of them, because code can be like a house of cards. Where if you fix one thing, it could break something else. And they might have decided to not do corrections or updates to certain things because the code is older. And even though they're remastering it, they, as it mentions before, they introduced new bugs completely by accident. So I don't agree with the argument, but I can understand the argument to not touch it, because it's almost like, you know what? It works. Don't breathe and it won't fall apart. I don't like that idea. I think that if they're going to go in and remaster a game, part of it is fixing the bugs and making all the shit that doesn't work, all the content that's inaccessible, all the quest lines that are broken, all that stuff. I think if they've got the chance to remaster it and do all that stuff, they should go in and fix the rest. They absolutely should.
I'm with you on that. I'm so glad Peter said it, because if they are going to fix it, obviously Oblivion Remasters, if we had to guess, was probably being worked on over the last 2 to 4 years, somewhere in that entire range or time span, maybe even a little bit longer. Probably not. It was probably after Microsoft bought them. I think that was 2020 or 2021, one or the other. But now everything's AI. They can just go in there with AI to fix all those bugs. Sure, that they could do that. That doesn't mean those are going to be perfect. And like the remaster, or like the article pointed out, with the Oblivion remaster, there are a few extra new bugs. Some have been taken away. There are some of the original ones, but there are a couple of new ones as well. AI would probably offer a new bug or two. It's not one that we would expect, but it's natural. It's inevitable. Something's going to happen to some degree. But if they're using AI to fix the bugs, or if they even, Microsoft, which is kind of becoming a giant AI company as well, the parent company to all these wonderful little companies that we enjoy playing games from, would they take the easy route, use AI to kind of speed things up as well, get a couple more dollars on their plate, get another remaster out here, another remaster out there? And talking about the actor's perspective that we just came from, talking about Olga and Taskmaster and all that, but for video game actors, one of the best things about these remasters is, hey, we might need some updated dialogue. Hey, we might need a little bit of updated this, and that from those voice actors from 10, 15 years ago, coming back and be able to get a couple extra dollars, but also re-imbue life in hopefully one of the most prized roles that they've had. If AI is being used to fix bugs, does that negate the ability for that to happen at all? Because AI can they already have the voices in the game to train off of. The actors have already signed contracts in the past. I don't know if those contracts stipulate whether their voices can be modified and retouched within what was already there, or if a set of reshoots, not reshoots, but re-recordings, I guess is the best way to say that, were to be the case.
Well, in Fallout's case, you've got actors who are no longer among the living that would need to do, this is the boondoggle, because I don't think the contracts from 10 or 15 years ago even had a whiff of AI. I mean, I do know that a lot of contracts include language that is vague enough to talk about formats of media, known and unknown, etc. They're doing they put in some broad language to kind of try to future-proof it, but I don't think anybody was thinking about AI whatsoever at the time. Now, what would be a problem is if they were going in and using AI to generate new lines for Benny using Matthew Perry's voice without with
the estates,
without the estate sign off on it. That's a big one. What's going on, Chairman? Thank you for joining us today. Good to see everybody in the chat, by the way. Sorry, we haven't done the acknowledgments. We kind of just jumped right into the knife fight here all of a sudden, and it's been a good time. So
we were taskmastering.
Yeah. Yep. Hashtag justice for Taskmaster. You're not getting me off that one. Just because, horrifying what they could do to an actor's performance without them knowing it. But anyhow, before we get completely derailed, let's talk about this horrifying reality. Yeah, I think they have to be very, very careful. It's the lack of beard. Yeah, no, well, I'm going to plug this real fast. I had to shave because, I had an audition yesterday and they needed me to be clean shaven. So good times. But more importantly, I had to shave for the show that I'm producing that is going to Scotland. We fly to Scotland on Wednesday. Holy crap. I will be performing in Scotland at the Edinburgh Fringe August 3rd to the 9th. We get out there we fly out Wednesday. We get there Thursday. It's going to be crazy. Yep. Oh, thank you.
And for anybody that is in the UK, just letting that reminder happen that description has tickets for.
Oh, thank you, Harris. I appreciate that.
Edinburgh Fringe down there.
Yep. So I'm gonna be shorn and baby faced. I actually had to get a hair. I got the haircut yesterday too, or 2 days ago. Yeah. I agree with you. I wish that the cut content and the broken quest lines and stuff like that would all be fixed as well. I think it's incredibly frustrating to know that there's stuff that we were on the verge of getting that the bugs ravaged, and they said, good enough, ship it. So
to kind of work off that idea and point, with the remaster, if they're going to remaster New Vegas at some point, there's obviously some cut content there.
A lot of it, yeah.
Would you like to see them put some of that content back in a remaster? And
I mean, I feel like yes.
If the asterisk is there and it also says utilizing AI to do so, would that be a deal breaker to add new content back in there or add the cut content back into the game to ease on the developer process?
All right. I know that there's a lot of look, we're conflating two separate issues here. Okay, what to do in the remasters and whether or not AI should be involved. Let's talk about these as two separate things, okay? Because I know that AI has its own ethical concerns, and you don't have to have one to have the other. Okay, we can do a remaster without AI. I think that if they were going to go back and do a true remaster, it shouldn't just be a graphics and engine update and console generation update. I think that, they absolutely should be putting in the cut content. I think they should be fixing the bugs. I think that, if you're going to take the time to redevelop this and you're already working off an existing framework, take the time to fucking fix what's broken. Absolutely. I think that should be mission critical. Are you going to create new bugs? Yes, we're aware of that. But the other great thing is that how many times have they been patching games games get released unfinished now, and they'll just dump a gigantic patch after ship date.
That is kind of Bethesda's MO as well.
100%. So they already have the formula locked down. Like, why the hell not just fix what's broken, and if you break new shit, patch it, and fix it in a patch. That is something I agree with. I think that in terms of performances, yes, we don't have Matthew Perry anymore. I think there are a couple of other actors who were featured in New Vegas that have passed on as well. And you never know who just might not be available to come back. We can have those performances. We can have those characters continue under the auspices of new performers, under the care and stewardship of new performers. I think that you can get sound alikes. If there's a new Rick Sanchez right now, man, that sounds almost indistinguishable, you can get actors to take over the roles. I mean, this is a time-honored tradition within the performing arts of someone who's created a role is no longer there. I mean, just Doctor Who is based on this, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I say keep the performances human. That is always going to be my line that I toe. Hey, Quest. Yeah. So I think keep the performances human. And then when it comes to AI, there are so many ethical questions about AI that I need to do a lot more research and soul searching on before I endorse one way or the other. I will tell you this. Jen has been playing with AI a little bit in terms of like, hey, give us recommendations on press outlets to reach out to in Scotland. Give us recommendations for this or that or the other thing. And it generated a whole list of press contacts with email addresses and everything else. And we were like, holy shit, this is fantastic. And then I sent off an email to all those email addresses, and they were all hallucinations. They were all AI hallucinations. None of those emails actually worked. They all bounced back hard, So I think the idea of relying on AI and just being like, AI will fix it. AI won't just fix it. It's not a magic eraser. It's not a magic button that just does shit. AI is still imperfect, very much so. And I think putting too much faith in AI at this phase, we're not at the Star Trek computer level. We're not. No, not even close. Not even close. We are dealing with an algorithm that has and a large language model and an algorithm that is programmed to respond if X, respond Y. And that is not. People are treating this like it has like a large logic model behind it that almost simulates consciousness, and it's not. 5 years from now, it's a different story, Peter, but we're talking about the technology as it stands right at this moment. Because if people are going to start doing a remaster, if we're talking about doing remasters and stuff like that, we're talking about doing it now. We don't even know where it's going to be in 5 years because of the rule of, just the exponential development of technology. 5 years from now, we might be fighting Terminators and Skynet. That's with just how fast shit goes.
As long as I get a laser sword, I'm in.
Yeah. So, or the whole thing could collapse like the .com bubble did because people were overpromising, under-delivering, and the funding falls out at one point, and the whole thing turns out to be a goddamn Ponzi scheme run by, like what was it, the Amazon AI that just turned out to be monitors in a station in India that were just like monitoring shoppers and stuff like that and ringing them up accordingly. It was all like manually done, but it was supposed to be the supercharged AI. And hey, you know what? If you want to be team AI, I'm not going to criticize that. I think that AI is, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. And I think it's the way of the future. That, and I do think that it is a key to achieving like the Star Trek level utopia that I would love to exist in. But the problem is how is it implemented? Are we using it to enhance our world and enhance our jobs, or are we using it to replace humanity and but keeping the capitalist structures in place that require us to have jobs, that need to pay us so we can have food on the table, and all the jobs are being taken by robots. It has to be done smartly, and it has to be done ethically, and hopefully it can be done in a way that's not destructive to the environment. I recognize that move fast and break shit is Silicon Valley's motto, and it has been for, ever since Uber came in to be like the big disruptor. It was like, do it now and let the regulators catch up. I think that there is some amount of change that is necessary that needs to be forced, but we have to be conscientious of the consequences and impacts and not ignore them. I mean, that is a responsibility that we have in wielding this technology, So I think the thing is that if we replace people with technology too fast, you're setting up for economic collapse. Because if you're putting a whole shitload of people out of work and there's no way for them to earn, how are they supposed to participate in the economy?
Yeah.
And then money becomes meaningless at that point. Because, if there's no work to be had, what do we do? So, yeah, that's, tell me who in the United States is going to pass a UBI right now? Yeah. Nobody. No, the state, the Fed and the state won't. No, like maybe California would do it, but UBIs are not going to happen. Why is it? Yeah. You know what? Oh, okay. Let's get it back onto something light real quick. You know what series I would love to see remastered? Fucking Mega Man.
Oh, that would be so much fun. Nintendo doesn't really do a whole bunch of remasters, I don't think, but it'd be, I guess, besides Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Mario has been redone to death.
Have they brought out like old Super Marios and like just redone?
Oh yeah, they've updated them constantly. I mean, they have them as downloadable on every new console that comes out. So.
All right. Well, real quick, Traveler was saying something just a moment ago.
About how there's pilots. Well,
programs. No, Microsoft is firing people all over the place. They cut 4% of their workforce, including Bethesda. Bethesda employees were laid off, 10,000 people. I don't think they're going to get a remaster. So the thought there is, I mean, what has this whole conversation just been? Is they don't need as many people. They are going to be utilizing different programs like that, which I hate, but they don't need as many people. I wish it wasn't Bethesda, if anything, of course, because that's bread and butter. That's what we love, but the other thing in there that this doesn't necessarily correlate with the remaster at all is because Bethesda isn't the company making the remasters. They're outsourcing the remasters to other smaller companies, usually another subsidiary of Microsoft. Yeah. But whether it be Obsidian or what's the company that did Redfall or any of these other little companies that Bethesda works with to make video games alongside, they'll be doing the remasters rather than Bethesda proper. Bethesda proper is probably working on Elder Scrolls 6 and whatever the last bits of Starfield they have left are. Because they said this last week that they have a little something left for Starfield. And then Elder Scrolls 6 seems like it's going to be that big. Run with it.
And then once Elder Scrolls 6 is at its plateau of like, okay, we're wrapping it up, then I think the work on 5 starts earnestly.
Come on.
But at the same time, if they're cutting the workforce and they need income, they need profits, they need money, they need more money coming in, the remasters seem like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So
which I don't want to,
Peter, I would say, based on what I've seen, Peter, I would say yes. I would 100% say yes, that there are tons of people willing to play a remaster. I think you underestimate the replayability of a game, especially like New Vegas, where it's declared one of the best video games of all time. Like people would replay that shit to death. Like the number of people who have sunk literally thousands of hours into Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, that's so new too.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you, Traveler. Game Pass. They don't have to rebuy it because all they got to do is subscribe $15 a month to Game Pass, and they have the game right there.
Yeah, they're Netflixing video games now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So much for hardware. Oof.
So yeah, people are going to buy them one way or another. Elder Scrolls, Bethesda, and Skyrim prove that because you can buy Skyrim for your refrigerator, which is hilarious to me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can for those Samsung fridges that you can like touch screen and do stuff on. You can play Skyrim.
Serious? Holy shit! That's like playing Doom on a calculator. Yeah,
which I'm so glad you said the magic word of Doom.
Doom,
because that just for these last 10, 15 minutes here, I know you got to run out here pretty close to that 11 mark here.
Yeah.
There is a lot of criticism about Game Pass. Some of it rightful, and some of it, Game Pass is also the scariest and best thing Xbox has ever done. It just depends on the day and depends on what you're playing. There's a lot more of a nuance in the conversation there as well. With that little Doom mention there, and while we're talking Fallout Bakersfield has just got a trailer. God. And it looks so damn cool. And it's on a Doom. What is the right?
Yeah, it's like a Doom engine.
For it? It's Doom's engine, but for Fallout 1 or 2, and it's so damn cool.
Yeah, no, Stanley's. I agree with you. You'll own nothing and be happy about it. That is the. I mean, I still have my MP3 music collection, even though I have Apple Music. Like, I try to make sure that I have hard copies of all the stuff that I really care about. This is why I get all of the. I have D&D Beyond for when I'm DMing professionally because it's just easy and fast for me to access, but I buy all the books too. I'm the perfect sap when it comes to WotC products. I'll be honest. I am like the guy that will buy everything. But at the same time, I get the hard copies of the books because I want to have them. They're not, they can change and revoke access to D&D Beyond. They're not going to come back and take my cardboard and paper. So, yeah. Yeah. But yes, before we get sidetracked on that, the Fallout Bakersfield, the trailer does look dope. Let me ask you this: at the end of the trailer that dropped, they talked about how the game is 60% done, and it's been getting worked on for a few years now. The one thing that I know about most of these large-scale conversions and these large-scale adaptations is that they turn into vaporware real quick. So, realistically speaking, what are the odds, do you think, of Bakersfield actually happening?
Not high. But
yeah. I feel like they get the trailer out and then 6 months later they're dead. That's what I've seen. Yeah.
Fallout Mexico New Mexico. It was just Mexico. The thing that I think they're doing right here to hopefully tie a bow on this whole kind of thing and make everything come full circle. I think this is an audition for Bethesda to hire their company to give them the resources to make the Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 remasters. Because they saw Bethesda, how they talked to and how much they gave the keys of the kingdom rather than lock them in the dungeon to the Sky Oblivion team.
True. Yeah.
They said, hey, let's work with these guys. Let's give them a little bit of fun. They've done so much for us. Let's pat them on the back a little bit.
And how many of the Fallout London developers got hired on? Now whether they're still there or not is a different story.
Yeah, that's kind of iffy.
Yeah.
300.8 players a day for Fallout 3.
Who's the 0.8? I know how math works. It's a joke. Yeah. So.
You can get an average players from stream stats. Okay, cool. And that's only just that stream. Steam. Excuse me. There will still be Xbox and PlayStation and so on and so forth. And
anybody with a hard copy or a PC copy, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that's for a 19-year-old game?
Yeah.
No, just about 2005 or 6, huh?
Oh my God! Why? How do we not notice?
Fallout 3 was 2008. Fallout New Vegas was 2010. Skyrim was 2011, and Fallout 4 was 2015 because it won Game of the Year 2015, right? Yes. Fallout 4 is 10,000 daily players. God damn! Wow. And that's just on Steam, like we just said. Did I get the dates right? I was hoping. It might be 2007.
I'm checking. 2008. Yeah, October 28th, 2008 for Fallout 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so and New Vegas was 2010. And then 4 was 2015. Yeah.
Fallout 3 could buy cigarettes next year, but they can't now. You got to be 21 for cigarettes now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that Bakersfield team will get a little bit of that nod if they're not able to finish their game. Which hopefully they are.
And I think that's another reason why Bethesda kind of like lets these fan projects happen, because it's like, it keeps the game relevant, it keeps people talking, keeps people getting creative. And these large scale ones, when they flame out, it's like, haha, see, it's not as easy as you thought, fuckers. You know, I think there is, you know, like for everybody that wants to talk shit, it's like, here you go. You try it, you know? Yeah. 400,000 for 76. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Damn.
But, I know, right?
Yeah.
I gotta give him credit. I gotta give him credit that I was impressed with how the game looked. I really was. It really captures that old Doom vibe, but it felt like Doom more than Fallout to me. It felt like Doom with a fucking bunch of chat trees attached to it, you know? And so I don't know. I mean, I recognize that it's closer to Fallout 4 than the original Fallouts, and it was a bit of an update. But there is a difference between a first-person shooter and a first-person RPG. And this seemed to be much more first-person shooter, where you could talk to a few of the things before you shoot them. So, granted, I only watched the four
minutes in the trailer.
Yeah, the 4 minutes. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody just texted me. I forgot to turn my damn notifications off, and I'll deal with that in a minute. But yeah, having now I'm all distracted. Sorry, the ADHD is strong today.
You're all good.
Yeah. So I think that it's the point's gone. I lost it. I have lost the plot.
You're good, because it's insane, I guess. First of all, how many people are playing this? How many people do you think would jump into a Bakersfield like this? Do you think there would be that same type of audience?
I'd try it. I'd absolutely try it. I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see how well the RPG elements translate to a more Doom-centric style game. So,
because as much as I want that like enveloped world of Fallout 1 or 2, I still haven't ever played, I guess, the original 2 games on PC in that sense. So part of that is why this excites me so much. But just I guess would you rather, just from the trailers that we've gotten, because I guess you played a little Fallout London, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, from just throwing out the actual little bit of gameplay, trailer-wise, would you rather play Fallout London, Fallout Mexico, or Fallout Bakersfield? Because I think Bakersfield, 10 out of 10 at times for me. The other two are super interesting. But there's just something about back to that.
It's two different appeals. With London and Nueva Mexico, I'd be looking for something new.
Yes.
And I would play Bakersfield for the nostalgia. Because that's what it is stimulating nostalgia. So,
that makes sense. Yeah. That might be why I would gravitate towards that, because it's new and nostalgic kind of simultaneously.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely down for it. I think I would definitely love to give all these projects a shot, and I just want to be entertained and have a good story and a relatively bug-free experience, relatively speaking. You know, I recognize that sometimes shit's gonna happen, but I just want to have a great time and be engaged with my free time. You know, because I get so precious little free time that when I'm taking the time to play a video game, I want it to be a good experience. So I think that Fallout Bakersfield feels to me like if it was a real product that I could fire up and play right now, that would be the kind of game that I would fire up and play for 20, 30 minutes at a time, just to have something to do before I go out and do something else.
I see. If
I'm going to play London or Nueva Mexico, I'm gonna be sitting there for a while. I'm gonna tunnel in and be, you know, it feels like more of a commitment. And I don't know why, other than the fact that when I used to play Doom and when I used to play Wolfenstein and the similar 3D first person shooters, you know, the pioneers of the genre,
Of course.
You could play a level in 5 minutes, and get a level or two done and be like, cool, now on to the next thing. So, but when you're in Fallout 4, Fallout London, Fallout, any of these newer games, you have this open sandbox environment where new quests and shit are getting dropped on you all the time. And, before you know it, 4 hours is gone,
it feels like Fallout 3 onwards, you might have an individual quest that might last you an hour to 3 hours sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you don't even realize it. Mm-hmm. So
having a damn good time.
Exactly. So I'm definitely, I think it's apples and oranges. They're both fruit, but they're different. So I would have different purposes. Oh, Fallout London was always free. I never paid for it. So too. Yeah. So unfortunately, I do have to start wrapping things up because I got to get on the road to Venice, and it's going to take me about an hour to get there. So I gotta floor it because I got to be there at 12. But I do appreciate you taking the time, Harris, today and working with me on my constraints. Once again, folks, I hope I hope you all have a great couple of weeks coming up. If you're in the UK and you're going to be anywhere near Edinburgh, please come up and check out my show at the Edinburgh Fringe.
In the description.
All the links are in the description below. So we'd love to see you there. Come up and introduce yourself afterwards. It's a really tight turnaround. We only have 5 minutes to load in and 5 minutes to load out. But once I'm out and I'm at the lobby, in the lobby post show, feel free to come up, introduce yourself, and say, hey, would love to meet a few things. Yeah. Anyhow, have a great week. Have a great couple of weeks. By the time I get back, we'll be ready for the next episode. Maybe we'll finally do that one on environmental storytelling. Right, Harris?
Hell yes.
We'll get there eventually. I promise. It's gonna be the great running gag. Yeah,
we've got that one, and then eventually some Arizona Rangers, and we got a few things planned out. If anything pops up in the meantime, of course, we can switch it, but we got some fun things planned out.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty, guys. Take care.
I think we will see y'all. Hey, do we get to have a beer with you if they're there?
Yeah, sure. I'll grab a drink with folks afterwards. Yeah, absolutely. After the show, it'll be like 11 o'clock at night, but I'll be down for a nightcap. So, yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah. We will see everybody tomorrow for Farscape's Reon for our Patreon members, and Sunday again for Sci-Fi Sundays. Next week for Stargate Outpost, and we'll see you soon.
Y'all have a great day. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Adios.